here we are in Berlin at the KPMG European Tax Conference. It's nice to see you in person.
Thanks, Rodney, you too.
So, I know you're very busy, but just before we start, you work within KPMG's EU Tax Centre. Tell me what you do.
Yes, so basically what we do is analyzing direct tax developments at the EU level. Currently there's plenty of things going on. For example, the Pillar 2 implementation, we already discussed this, how EU countries implement Pillar 2, but also all sorts of other initiatives by the European Commission and the EU institutions like country-by-country reporting, Unshell Directive, and so on. So yeah, plenty.
Keeping you busy.
Yeah.
Keeping you busy. Yeah. And of course, just this week, there was a bunch of news out of the European Union directives.
Right.
Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so basically yesterday, the European Commission issued three directive proposals, three new directive proposals. So maybe just like starting with the one that was most expected, I think, the BFIT proposal. I think many people probably know of the previous CCCTB proposals. Back in 2011, the European Commission already tried to basically define rules for a common corporate tax base, and then to allocate that tax base to member states based on formulary apportionment. And that basically is another try now from the European Commission to set rules in that regard. It's really interesting. They stepped away from the formulary apportionment method, at least for a transitional period. But they basically are trying now to, trying to define common corporate tax base calculation rules for groups that are basically the same scope as Pillar 2. So groups with a consolidated revenue of more than 750 million, and not formulary apportionment yet, but basically an apportionment of the tax base based on previous revenue of the last 3 years. So basically the share of each group member of the consolidated revenue in the previous 3 years. That's how they're trying to allocate it. And I think based on like a common tax base, one of the key benefits that the Commission is proposing is that there will be no withholding taxes for the EU group within payments within the group, and also relief for cross-border losses. So that it's possible to offset losses within the group from a cross-border perspective, which is currently not possible. And I think another benefit from the Commission is a one-stop shop approach. So basically, that the group only needs to deal with one tax authority. So basically, the filing entity, which would usually be the ultimate parent entity of the group, would need to file a BFIT information return. But that's the only return that needs to be filed for the group, the only information return. And of course, there will be additional local tax returns on an individual basis, but the Commission proposes to reduce compliance costs in this respect.
Well, certainly that would be welcome.
Yeah.
In today's ever-increasing amount of global controversy. So that's interesting. So that was one of them.
That was one, yeah. There are another two. The second, also anticipated because it was already announced by the Commission, relates to transfer pricing. So basically the EU or the European Commission noticed that there are different approaches to transfer pricing within the EU, taken by different member states. So they're trying to align that by incorporating the arm's length principle and the OECD transfer pricing guidelines into EU law, basically to turn that into a directive. That was the second. And the third, that relates to SMEs, because that's high on the Commission's agenda to provide relief for SMEs in particular. And that directive provides that certain standalone SMEs that only have foreign permanent establishments, that those would have an easier tax base calculation as well. So basically, at head office level, they could calculate tax base based on national provisions. So basically, they don't need to deal with the tax provisions in the countries where the permanent establishment is located, but they can do it based on their national regime, basically. Still applying the foreign tax rates, but again, just to reduce compliance costs for those smaller standalone SMEs.
Gosh, so 3 actually pretty big directives. That's news. The BFIT, the consolidated corporate tax base. Let's see how that rolls out. Transfer pricing, and then relief from complexity for SMEs.
Yeah.
So I imagine this is going to keep you very busy, given that it just came out. What are your plans from here?
So since it was released only yesterday, we're still, of course, trying to analyze it, trying to understand the impact for our clients, but also generally it's expected that there will be public consultations on those directives. So that's also another task for us to come together to form working groups within KPMG, to discuss the directives, to understand the impact, but also then to draft submissions in order to participate in the public consultations, in order to let the Commission know where potentially there are things that could be that might impact the clients in an adverse way, and where we think improvements could be made.
Well, I can only imagine that's going to keep you super busy over the next, any number of months. So, Marco, thank you for your time today, and again, it was great to see you again in person.
Thank you. You too, Rodney.